Hi, I'm Eva Murphy from Electronic Engineering at IT Sligo, and this is my Leaving Cert Maths Grinds channel. I'll regularly add new videos for both higher and ordinary level maths, so make sure you subscribe below and click the bell icon to be notified of new videos. All right, let's have a look at question 8. If x plus a ought to be squared is a factor of x cubed plus 6px plus k, show that 1k plus 2a cubed is equal to 0, 2a squared plus 2p is equal to 0, and 3k squared plus 32p cubed is equal to 0. Okay, so again, you can do this with long division, or you can do it with equating the coefficients, and I am going to equate the coefficients. So if you look at example 7, we did it both ways. So see if you have a preference. Okay, so the theory, if I take x plus a squared, which is x plus a by x plus a, okay, and I multiply it by another factor, and I normally say x plus k. I can't use k this time though, because the cubic is already using k. They got there before me, so I need another letter, okay? And it doesn't matter what letter I use. I'm going to go x plus m, okay? So those three factors, when I multiply them together, I'm going to get the cubic, which is x cubed plus 6px plus k, okay? Or, of course, you could write this one, because it's missing an x squared term, as x cubed plus 0x squared plus 6px plus k, okay? Sometimes it suits people to put in the 0x squared for equating the coefficients. Okay, so let's start to multiply this side out. X by x is x squared. X by a is xa plus xa plus x squared. So x squared plus 2ax, or xa, plus a squared. Okay, and I have to multiply that by x plus m. So let's do that now. There's my x cubed, and it matches this x cubed, so I know I'm on the right track. X squared by m is mx squared. So just a little thing, I tend to put whether all the x's on the ends, because it makes equating the coefficients that little bit easier. Right, so that's the x squared done. I'm now multiplying 2ax by these two. So it's 2ax squared and 2amx. And then the a squared by the second bracket plus a squared x plus a squared m. Okay, so now let's equate the coefficients. Okay, so I know that x cubed equals x cubed, okay? In other words, that x cubed equals this x cubed, okay? So that's good, but nothing to be learned there. Then let's have a look at my x squared terms. There's an x squared terms, there's an x squared terms, and there's my x squared terms, okay? So I have mx squared plus 2a x squared being equal to 0, x squared. Drop all the x squares so that you have m plus 2a being equal to 0. Okay. I'm going to write m as equal to 2a, okay? Why did I do this? Because I'm always conscious that m is the letter that I invented for my third factor. Okay, I introduced m into this whole thing. Okay, so m is normally the letter then that I will substitute in for at every available opportunity. So when I get m plus 2a equal to 0, I brought the 2a over and I get m is equal to minus 2a. So anytime I see m in any other future equations, I would sub in minus 2a for it, okay? And that's how I get rid of the letter I introduced. And anyway, you can see up here, there isn't an m to be seen, but of course there isn't, because it was us who invented it. So not too much I can do with that for now. Let's leave them. And let's look at my x terms. There's an x term, and 6px. Okay, so I have 2amx plus a squared x is equal to 6px. and you have 2am plus a squared is equal to 6p. So you see this line here. In many solutions you might see just this line. You might never see this line, okay? Because people are literally just writing down what's called the coefficients, so the number in front of x. So there's the 2am, then they'll write down the a squared, and then they'll write down the 6p. So they mightn't bother writing down that top line at all. Up to you, whatever way you want to do it. Okay. So I'm going to leave him for now, and I'll come back to him. And I'm going to do my last coefficient, which is a squared m being equal to k. Okay, I'm going to sub in for the m. I'm going to sub in that minus 2a. So a squared times minus 2a is equal to k. So minus 2a cubed is equal to k. Okay, and do you know what? Let's sub in for the m here too. I'll have 2a times minus 2a plus a squared is equal to 6p. 2a by minus 2a is minus 4a squared plus a squared is equal to 6p, or minus 3a squared is equal to 6p. Okay, and there's my m's gone, which is the letter that I introduced, so I'm a little bit more comfortable when that happens. Okay, and then you have a look at what you're asked to show. Okay, and somewhere or other, we should be able to show these using mixtures of these. Okay, so in other words, I could write this one in terms of a cubed and then sub it in, or in terms of a and then sub it in. I might have to write this one in terms of p and sub it in somewhere else, things like that. Okay, so k plus 2a squared equals to 0. So that's the closest one to it. If I bring over the minus 2a cubed, I will get that. Okay, so bring him over. I get k plus 2a cubed being equal to 0. Okay, so that is part 1. Okay, part 2, a squared plus 2p is equal to 0. A squared p, if I bring that over here again, okay, I'll get a plus, so 3a squared plus 6p is equal to 0. So I just brought that in front of my p here. And if I divide across by the 3, I will get a squared plus 2p equal to 0. Okay, so there's part 2. Part 3 then, k squared plus 32p cubed is equal to 0. K squared. Okay, so you have two choices, or two things you have to play with here. So I have to somehow merge the k that's here with the p that's here. So I'm going to end up merging these two equations together. Okay, now this part I actually didn't manage to solve out. So I challenge anyone to do it for me and post the solution onto the channel. Okay, but this is how I would start it. So I'm going to erase out these pieces. Okay, and I'm just going to create a little box here. So this is how I would start it. So from here, it doesn't really matter where I started, but maybe a squared plus 2p is equal to 0. 2p is equal to minus a squared. No, let me reverse that now. Is equal to 0. A squared is equal to minus 2p. Okay, that should be okay. So a squared is equal to minus 2p. Okay, and then sub that one into minus 2a cubed is equal to k. Okay, and I'm subbing it in for a squared. So I could write this as minus 2a squared by a is equal to k. So minus 2, instead of a squared, I have minus 2p. by that a is equal to k. So now I have minus 4 p squared by a is equal to k. Okay, so I still need to sub in for this a. I need to find a way of squaring him, and I need to bring the p squared up to p cubed. Okay, the 32 I would imagine is coming from 2 cubed will give me 8 and the 4 outside it. Okay, but I haven't managed to finish it, so a challenge for anybody watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then why not join us in IT Sligo and use maths in practice. In conjunction with industry, we've designed an exciting new program in electronics and self-driving technologies, which uses cutting-edge techniques such as artificial intelligence, computer vision, and virtual and augmented reality. You'll need a H5 in maths to qualify. Check out the link below.